Okay, here we go. Dearly beloved, how clearly I see somewhere in heaven you were fashioned for me. Angel eyes knew you. Angel voices sent me to you. Nothing could save me. Fate gave me a sign. I know that I'll be yours come the shower or shine. So I say merely, dearly beloved, be mine. Dearly beloved, how clearly I see somewhere in heaven you were fashioned for me. Angel eyes knew you. Angel voices sent me to you. Nothing could save me. Fate gave me a sign. I know that I'll be yours come shower or shine. So I say merely, dearly beloved, dearly beloved, dearly beloved, be mine. Come on in, pull up a chair, it's so good to have you here. How I love when friends and family come to call. Just relax and unwind, sit and say what's on your mind. It's been quite a while, I want to hear it all. You know time with friends has a joy that's all its own. Sharing love, sharing laughs, as we travel down our roads. Yes, our time with friends is just as good as it can be. So please come on in and spend some time with me. Like something to eat, I can whip us up a treat. Let me throw another log upon the fire. Make yourself all to home, don't stand out there all alone. Come on in so we can lift our spirits higher. You know time with friends is a part of life's design. Cracking jokes, shedding tears, making sure we're doing fine. Let's have time with friends just as often as can be. Won't you come on in and spend some time with me? Please come on in and spend some time with me. Good evening. I see you writing notes to me, and I guess I'm going to have Penny turn her phone on and log in because I can't read them. They're so small on my phone. But I'm glad there are people here. Thank you for talking to me already. Thank you for being here. We have such a great night of music for you tonight. Like there's more than one. It's just me tonight, just me. But we're doing an evening saluting the great Johnny Mercer. And literally out of that song I just sang, I did throw another log on the fire. It's like 39 degrees outside. Somebody's sending me a text message. I cannot read it. I'm so sorry. So I want to thank everybody for the requests for tonight. I'm going to try to get them all, but I'm going to say right up front now, for the two of you who requested a satin doll, I'm so sorry, couldn't get it in. Just couldn't find a place for it to fit. I will do it another time. It was very hard to select the songs for tonight's show because there's so many brilliant songs that Johnny Mercer wrote. It was harder than choosing a Cole Porter show, was choosing this one. I do want to point this out up here because I need to do the commercial at some point in time. There's the Venmo address, there's the PayPal address, and anytime you feel like it, please feel like you can throw something in there. I want to clarify something I said last time in December when I said, those of you who did excessive donations don't need to do it again. I was actually referring to a couple people who threw in some money that had three numbers before the 0 ... the .00. So they had sent me like over $100 or $100. And I didn't want them to feel like they had to do that again the following month. But for those of you in the two numbers, if you feel like you want to put another 10 or another 15 or another 20 in the pot, I'd really appreciate it, because this little concert once a month is making up for what we're not doing in live concerts. So I keep feeling, okay, it's just telling me that they're there.
Oh, Kristen Lane is watching you.
Yeah, okay, I see that.
Okay.
So I'm assuming you can all see and hear me. So I'm going to keep going. If you can't see and hear me, scream on the typing thing and Penny will let me know. Because she's like Evie for Stephen Colbert. She's sitting right over there, making me feel comfy. I'm not going to focus a lot on Johnny Mercer's bio tonight, although I do have some anecdotes and stories that I'm going to share. But some basic things you need to know is that Johnny was from Savannah. He was from a very wealthy family. His father was a well-known attorney. They had, in fact, the first car in Savannah when he was growing up. But Johnny didn't spend a whole lot of time hanging around his family. He liked to play with the servants and the help and go out with them and go to their church and do the fun things. And that sort of reflects later on the music that he writes. I just, in fact, was it last night? I think it was. We rewatched Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil, which is a fantastic movie if you haven't seen it. And one of the reasons I wanted to watch it is because Mercer's songs, much like in the book Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil, in the movie they're like another character. And I wanted to refresh myself before we did this show today.
You're sideways, evidently.
Well, I'm not sideways here.
Well, you are on mine too, and somebody, Duvall just said so too.
Well, I'll go here, but now, see, now all the things are you can't get the... This is the problem.
Yeah, experimenting. There we go.
Okay, but can you see the things? And you won't be able to see me.
Yep,
And
we
so,
can see you.
okay, there are roses behind me that are supposed to fill out the picture.
Roses.
There they are, right there. Anyway, well, if this works better, this works better. You can get a partial view of me. I should be able to do it on the side. Anyway, what I started to say was there's conflicting information about Johnny's catalog. Some say he wrote over 1,500 songs. There's another place that says it's 1,088. Either way, it's an impressive number. In his career, he was nominated for 2 Grammys, and actually he won 2 Grammys and was nominated for 1 more. He has 2 songs in the Grammy Hall of Fame as songs. He's in the Hall of Fame for songwriters. He has an astonishing 18 Oscar nominations for Best Song of the Year and 4 wins. So, not bad for a lifetime's work. He couldn't read or write music, which is an interesting thing to think about when you look at all the stuff that he did. He created his own notation for how to do stuff because he wasn't schooled or educated in that. He had many collaborators when he was writing for the stage or the screen or just for pop songs. And one of the most frequent collaborators was a guy named Harold Arlen, who's another real favorite of mine. I put together a string of 3 songs that they wrote together. Now, 2 of these were nominated for an Oscar, and 1 was not. And at the end, I'll just get a little poll and see if you can guess which one is the one that was not an Oscar nomination. You got an accent, you weight the positive and eliminate the negative and latch on to the affirmative. Don't rest with Mr. In Between. You gotta spread joy up to the maximum, bring glue down to the minimum, and have faith, or pandemonium is likely to fall upon the scene. To illustrate my last remark, Jonah and the whale, Noah and the ark. What did they do just when everything looked so dark? Man, they said you gotta accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, and latch latch on to the affirmative. Don't mess with Mr. In Between. No, don't mess with Mr. In Between. Free and easy, that's my style. Howdy do me, watch me smile. Fare thee well me after a while, 'cause I gotta roam. And any place I hang my hat is home. Sweetening water, cherry wine, thank you kindly, suits me fine. Kansas City, Caroline, that's my honeycomb. And any place I hang my hat is home. Birds singing in the trees, pick up and go, and the going proves. That's how it's gotta be. I pick up too when the spirit moves me. Cross the river, round the bend. Had a stranger, so long, friend. There's a voice in the lonesome wind that keeps telling me, roam. I'm going where a welcome mat is, no matter where that is. 'Cause any place I hang my hat is home. That old black magic has me in its spell. That old black magic that you weave so well. Those icy fingers up and down my spine. The same old witchcraft when your eyes met mine. The same old finger that I feel inside. Then that elevator starts its ride. Down and down I go, round and round I go, like a leaf that's caught in the tide. I should stay away, but what can I do? I hear your name, and I'm a flame with such a burning desire that only your kiss can put out the fire. For you're the lover I have waited for, the mate that fate had me created for. And every time your lips meet mine, darling, down and down I go, round and round I go, in a spin, loving the spin I'm in, under that old black magic called love. In a spin, loving the spin I'm in, under that old black magic called love. In a spin, loving the spin I'm in, under that old black magic called love. Love. 3 by Harold Arlen and Johnny Mercer. Can anyone tell me which one was not nominated for an Oscar? Nobody's typing in. Okay, the only one that was not nominated out of that medley was Any Place I Hang My Hat Is Home. The other two were up for contention. This is another song that Mercer and Arlen wrote together from a stage musical called St. Louis Woman. And I've always thought this was one of the sexiest songs ever written. And some of you know that I'm working, actually almost finished, with a CD of Broadway love songs set in a bossa nova style. And I recorded 2 Arlen Mercer songs on there. This is one of them. I am hoping that I can capture with just the piano all the stuff that is on the CD, with the beautiful guitar work of Frank Seeberger and Kerry Black on bass, David Lopez on drums, and it's just a really yummy recording, but you'll have to take just the piano now. I'm gonna love you like nobody's loved you. Come rain or come shine, high as a mountain and deep as a river. Come rain or come shine. I guess when you met me, it was just one of those things. But don't ever bet me, 'cause I'm gonna be true if you let me. You're gonna love me like nobody's loved me. Come rain or come shine, happy together, unhappy together, and won't it be fine? Days may be cloudy or sunny, we're in or we're out of the money, but I'm with you always, I'm with you rain or shine. You're gonna love me like nobody's loved me, rain or shine. Happy together, unhappy together, and won't it be fine? Days may be cloudy or sunny, we are in or we're out of the money, but I'm with you always, I'm with you rain or shine. With you rain or shine. Louder?
Larry's gotta go. Larry Albert.
Okay, song I'm playing for you, Larry, is at the end of the concert. Come back. It's actually on the bill. I was talking to the mockingbird. He says you were the worst he's heard. Bob White, what you gonna swing tonight? I was talking to the whippoorwill. He says you got a corny trill. Bob White, what you gonna swing tonight? Even the owl flew in the towel after you sang legato, and the flamingo hollered by Jingo, what a vibrato. I heard a lot of talk about you, Bob. They say you're so off the cob. Fake it, Mr. B, take it. Follow me, Bob White. We're gonna break it up tonight, Bob White. Short and to the point. That's a song I heard Judy Garland do a number of times. Didn't realize Johnny had written it. I was not aware until about a month ago that there's a connection between Judy and Johnny that I was not aware of. They had a very intense affair when she was 18 years old. She was dating him, and she was also dating a guy named David Rose, another composer. David Rose wrote The Stripper, if you're, yeah, he wrote that. Made a lot of money. Anyway, she ultimately decided to marry David Rose and stop seeing Johnny. So he wrote this song for her and gave it to her, the lyrics. He had somebody else who composed the music, but he wrote the lyrics and gave it to her the day after the wedding as a wedding present, including all the rights to it. So anytime somebody would play or sing this song and royalties were paid, she got them. That's an interesting way to listen to these words that I think most of you will know. Was it in Tahiti? Were we on the Nile? Long, long ago, say an hour or so, I recall that I saw your smile. I remember you. You're the one who made my dreams come true a few kisses ago. I remember you. You're the one who said, I love you too. I do. Didn't you know? I remember too a distant bell and stars that fell like rain out of the blue. When my life is through and the angels ask me to recall the thrill of it all, then I will tell them I remember. Tell them I remember you. He always said to everyone, anyone who would ever ask him, that Judy Garland was the love of his life. Which didn't always go over well with his wife, who was married to him for 10 years before he started seeing Judy. And then was married to him for several more years when he and Judy started seeing each other again after she broke up her marriage with David Rose. And I'm certainly no one to fuss about age differences. I mean, in love, age is just a number. I'm delightfully married to a woman who's just slightly older than I am. But it was quite a scandal in Hollywood when Johnny Mercer and Judy Garland were dating, because she was 18 and he was 30. Just putting that out there. It's a fact. No judgment. No judgment. Okay, moving on to one of the songs that did win an Oscar, 1952. And if this weren't the age of COVID, my beautiful, delightful, entertaining friend Laurie Clothier would be singing this for you, because we have performed this song together for easily 20 years. But I'm going to stand in for her on the vocals today because, you know, distancing. wants a barbecue, Sam wants to boil a ham, Grace votes for bouillabaisse stew. Jake wants a weenie baked steak and a layer cake, he'll get a tummy ache too. We'll rent a tent or teepee, let the town crier cry, and if it's RSVP, this is what I'll reply. In the cool, cool, cool of the evening, tell 'em I'll be there. In the cool, cool, cool of the evening, better save a chair when the party's getting a glow on. Singing fills the air in the shank of the night when the doings are right. You can tell 'em I'll be there. In the cool, cool, cool of the evening, tell 'em I'll be there. In the cool, cool, cool of the evening, better save a chair when the party's getting a glow on, and singing fills the air in the shank of the night when the doings are right. You can tell 'em I'll be there. In the room for one more and you need me, why sure, you can tell 'em I'll be there. If I can jump out of bed, put a hat on my head, you can tell 'em that I'll be there. All right, under the heading of, what do I want to drink? I want water. Under the heading of transparency and speaking the truth, which is a thing now, even more than ever. Isn't it nice to have it back? I wasn't going to get political, but oh well. It's nice to have information that we can trust back coming across the airwaves. It's like so refreshing. Anyway, the reason I'm being transparent is at this point in the show, I had planned to sing one of my favorite rare Johnny Mercer songs, which is called Strip Polka, P-O-L-K-A, as in the dance, Strip Polka. It's very cute. It's very delightful. But one thing that became very apparent as I've been rehearsing for the last 2.5 weeks is that I can either play strip polka or I can sing strip polka, but at the moment I cannot play and sing strip polka at the same time. So I took it off the set list and replaced it with this. You're just too marvelous for words like glorious, glamorous, and that old standby amorous. It's all too wonderful. I'll never find the words that say enough, tell enough. I mean, they're just not swell enough. You're much too much and just too very, very to ever be in Webster's dictionary. And so I'm borrowing a love song from the birds to tell you that you're marvelous, too marvelous for words. Glorious, glamorous, that old standby amorous. Say enough, tell enough, they're just not swell enough. You're much too much and just too very, very to ever be in Webster's dictionary. So I'm borrowing a love song from the birds to tell you that you're marvelous, too marvelous for words. All right. Grapefruit juice now. Got to cut the phlegm. This next piece is very special to me for a number of reasons. It was written about his daughter. At about 6 or 7 years into his marriage to Ginger, they adopted a girl called Amanda. And he wrote a song for her called Mandy Is Too, which is just really charming. The only recording I've heard of it is Billie Holiday's. So I'm going to brave myself as a vocalist into putting my voice on something that in my head I always hear Billie singing. But I think you'll find this very charming, and I'm personally delighted that I am not the only man who writes songs about his children. Mandy is two. You ought to see her eyes of cornflower blue. They really look as if they actually knew that she's a big girl now. Mandy is two. You ought to see how many things she can do. She knows her alphabet and can tie her own shoe. And no one showed her how. If you could see Her Majesty with braids in her hair, almost as though her Sunday beau came around and bought her an orchid to wear. Mommy is blue because her little girl is going on 3, but Miss Amanda, she's as proud as can be, 'cause she's a big girl now. If you could see Her Majesty with braids in her hair, almost as though her Sunday beau came around and brought her an orchid to wear. Mommy is blue because her little girl is going on 3, but Miss Amanda, she's as proud as can be, 'cause she's a big girl now. Isn't that just charming? Just a charming song. I like it so much. Val, I see your note that you came in late. I sang your request at the beginning of the show, so you're going to have to catch it later to hear it, but I did it. What is there to write? What is there to say? Something's happening every day. Not a thing to write, not a thing to say. So I'll take my pen in hand and start the same old way. Dear, I thought I'd drop a line. The weather's cool, the folks are fine. I'm in bed each night by 9. P.S. I love you. Yesterday we had some rain, but all in all, I can't complain. it dusty on the train? P.S. I love you. Write to the Browns just as soon as you're able. They came around to call. I burned a hole in the dining room table. Let me guess that's all. Nothing else for me to say, and so I'll close. Oh, and by the way, everybody's thinking of you. P.S. I love you. Skylark, have you anything to say to me? Won't you tell me where my love can be? Is there a meadow in the mist where someone's waiting to be kissed? Skylark, have you seen a valley green with spring, where my heart can go journeying over the shadows and the rain to a blossom-covered lane? And in your lonely flight, haven't you heard the music in the night? Wonderful music, faint as a will-o'-the-wisp, crazy as a loon, sad as a gypsy serenading the moon. Oh, Skylark, I don't know if you can find these things, but my heart is flying on your wings. So if you see them anywhere, won't you lead me there? I love you. Both those songs were requested by some of you who wrote in, and I thought it would be fun to link them and kind of make their own little one-act scenario play thing. Hope it worked. What's next? Okay. So I promised myself when I started doing these that every show I would do something that scared me. And this is the one for this show. This is the one that scares me. I first heard it when I was I must have been 19 or 20. It was on a Dorothy Loudon album that my friend Jane Muir had loaned me that someday I'll give back to her. But I still have it. She knows I have it. Dorothy Loudon live at the Blue Angel. And this song is on it, and it just cracked me up. I thought it was delightful. I did not know it was a Johnny Mercer song because back in those days you didn't have to put credits on the recordings when you released them. So years later I discovered that he did it. And I have also heard I've heard Judy Garland. I've heard Judy Garland with Liza Minnelli. I've heard Johnny's recording. I've heard Johnny's recording with the Modernaires. I've heard Bing Crosby's recording. And, the guy that wrote Route 66, Bobby Troop. has a recording out of it that I like very much as well. So not wanting to copy any of those people, but make it possible for me to get through this without my friends Paul and Rob playing bass and drums, because that would make this so much easier. Here is a little piece called Jamboree Jones, if I don't start too fast. I begin my story out in West Virginia in a little college. All the student body only cared for football, never mind the knowledge. Never mind the sheepskin, they prefer the pigskin, seem to have it in their bones. They knew all about it, couldn't live without it, all except a certain Mr. Jamboree Jones. And he played the clarinet with all his might. He studied night and day, he practiced day and night. Running up the field for Mr. Jones, he'd rather run up the scales than down the scales. What tones! Even though his buddies always got their studies to attend a rally, while they all were rootin', you could hear him tootin', what became of Sally? How they used to hate him, cowards wouldn't date him, thought he was an awful bore. But he liked his rhythm better than being with him, and he only said he wanted to practice some more. And meanwhile the team marched on to greater fame, till they were asked to play that famous Rose Bowl game. And on that day of days the students beamed. What did they do when the team marched on the field? They screamed. Starting from the kickoff, they pulled every trick off, but they couldn't win it. Instead of going forward, they were going backwards about a mile a minute. Sound familiar? Seeing their position, they called in for mission, and they heard the referee say, 17-0 ain't exactly nothing, and you've only got about a minute to play. And then from the stands there came a distant wail, and it was Jamboree, a swing and a hold 'em Yale. And then the students all began to yell, players marching the field and down the field, pell-mell. Now on a certain West Virginia hill, there stands the college still, just as it always will. And there's a picture in the Hall of Fame, you'll see the guy in the frame who won the game. Jamboree Jones is the gentleman's name. That's Jamboree Jones is the gentleman's name. Almost. That lyric that turned into some Flemish variety of language was, but he liked his rhythm more than being with them, so he only grinned and went to practice some more. And much like Sondheim, if you miss a single syllable, you're done. So there's that. I debated long and hard whether I was going to sing this next song for you because, well, not a lot of men sing it. It was not nominated for an Oscar, although it's from the same film that Dearly Beloved that I opened the concert tonight with was, and Dearly Beloved was nominated, and this one was not. Sometimes, as big a fan as I am of the Oscars, they just choose the wrong thing. Now, the reason I debated about singing this was because, like I said, it was written for a woman, but my friend Cheryl, over in, the Port Angeles area, keeps complimenting me on my ability to take songs written for women and make them work for me. So, we're just going to assume that this one might work as well. I am not such a clever one about the latest fads. I admit I was never one adored by local lads. That's a true statement. Not that I ever try and be a saint. That's true too. I'm the type that they classify as quaint. I thought that might make her laugh. I'm old-fashioned. I love the moonlight. sound of rain upon the window pane, a starry song that April sings. This year's fancies, well, they're passing fancies, but sighing sighs, holding hands, these my heart understands. I'm old-fashioned, but I don't mind it. It's how I wanna be, as long as you agree to stay. Old-fashioned with me. Deal?
Deal.
All right, very good. Very good. All right, I'm gonna, what time is it? What time is it, please?
It's 5:15.
Okay, then I have a little more time than I thought, which means I get to do this song. Yay. I debated whether to put this in because I did it in my November concert, but it's my second favorite Johnny Mercer song, and it belongs here, so there you go. Heard this for the first time when Cleo Lane sang it, and just decided as soon as I became a cabaret artist I was going to appropriate it for myself. Mr. Baker, I miss you right now more than I can say. Talk to me, baby. Tell me lies. Tell me lies as sweet as apple pie. Whisper and tremble with a wild desire to light the fire in my eyes. Tell me I'm marvelous. Exaggerate, prevaricate if you must. Just talk to me, baby, soft and low. Then if you decide it's really so, swear to be mine forever. Otherwise, just talk to me and tell me lies. Say that we're helpless in the hands of fate. Prevaricate if you must. Just talk to me, baby, soft and low. Then if you decide it's really so, swear you'll be mine forever. Otherwise, lies, lies. Go on and tell me. Go on and tell me. Go on and tell me beautiful lies. Or I could start that with the right chord. Wanna be around to pick up the pieces when somebody breaks your heart. Somebody twice as smart as I. Somebody who will swear to be true, like you used to do to me. Leave you to learn that misery loves company. Wait and see. I wanna be around to see how he does it. He breaks your heart to bits. Let's see how the pieces fit so fine. And that's when you'll discover that revenge is sweet. When I sit there applauding from a front row seat. When somebody breaks your heart like you broke mine. When somebody breaks your heart like you broke mine. Almost got there. Almost. Huh? My wife just called me a crybaby. I'm not the biggest crybaby in the world. Kevin is, and he's watching, so he knows that. That song was actually requested by a dear friend of mine. I asked him if he wanted me to dedicate it to anybody, and he said no, that was over. He just still, the moment was over, but he still liked the song. So I created that arrangement, which really speaks to me and the person that I'm singing it to. I'm not telling anybody but Penny. It really points out Johnny's dark side. He had one. Evidently. Everyone said how much they loved him, but I read an article the other day that said that he was a great guy and a fantastic lyricist and a really mean drunk. There were lots of stories. The only one that I'll sort of touch on is one party, evidently, where he got himself particularly lit and started screaming at Irving Berlin that Irving Berlin had no talent. So we'll just let that moment go. We all have days we wish hadn't, gone there. I'm going to almost close out the show now with bookended, like I did with Harold Arlen songs. 3 songs that Johnny wrote with Henry Mancini. They did a lot of work in films together towards the end of Mercer's life. And I got 3 in a row here. Collectively, Johnny and Hank, as my father used to call him, Hank Mancini, were nominated for 4 Oscars, and they won 2. 2 of the songs in this trilogy won the Oscar, and the other one was nominated but didn't win. And just like I did before, we'll check in at the end and see if you can figure out which one was which. The days of wine door marked nevermore that wasn't there before. The lonely night discloses just a passing breeze, filled with memories of the golden smile that introduced me to the days of wine and roses and you. It didn't sound like this in the movie it was from. When we played our charade, we were like children posing, playing at games, setting out names, guessing the parts we played. Oh, what a hit we made. We came on next to closing, best on the bill, lovers until love left a masquerade. Fate seemed to pull the strings. I turned and you were gone, while from the darkened wings the music box played on. Sad little serenade, song of my heart's composing. I hear it still, guess I always will, rest on the bill charade. Moon river, wider than a mile, crossing you in style someday. Oh, dream maker, you heartbreaker, wherever you're going, I'm going your way. Two drifters off to see the world. There's such a lot of world to see. We're after the same rainbows and waiting round the bend. My huckleberry friend, Moon River and me. We're after the same rainbows and waiting round the bend. My huckleberry friend, Moon River and me. Staved the crying off that time. Very good. was telling Penny last night, that's a really surprisingly joyous song to sing. It's got an octave and one note, which Mancini said was the extent of